What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be grading every NFL team's 2024 and 2025 season.
Let's go.
And that's really all I got for an intro. Question of the video: what is your favorite NFL team? Let's get into it. All right, it's really self-explanatory. We got every NFL team here. We got S at like the best possible season. A, really, really good. B, pretty good. C, fine, but not great. D, I'm disappointed. And F, what are you doing? First up, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, I'm not going to lie. I did not expect these guys to go 8-9. I think if Kyler can stay healthy, I think if Marvin Harrison Jr. can continue to improve, they're not going to be that bad. I think they just added an Eagles defensive pass rush. Was it Sweat who went there? Anyways, I'm going to go C. I'm not disappointed. I'm more surprised. They didn't do great, but they did a lot better than I thought they were going to do this year. The Atlanta Falcons, they had Mooney, they had London, Kirk Cousins, they had a great backup quarterback they drafted really high in the draft. Robinson, I thought this team with that defense was going to be so good. They didn't have a bad season, but I'm very disappointed in what came out of it. The Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens had a very good season. Maybe Lamar Jackson's best season yet, but I can't give them S tier because even with Derrick Henry, they couldn't get over that hump. I'm kind of disappointed, but they did have a really good season. The Buffalo Bills. And here's why. Josh Allen had the best year of his career. He took care of the football. With that roster, hey, I know you were like everyone else, including myself at the beginning of the year. I didn't give them a thought of them being good. I thought they had no weapons. I thought they had no offensive line, no running game, no defense. And Josh Allen put his Superman cape on and got them to an AFC championship. S tier, I'm not only surprised, I'm still in awe of what that team did. Next up, the Panthers. Are you surprised? Moving right into the Bears, they got Caleb Williams, they got Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. They have a really good start to the season, I think. And in this offseason, they're beefing up the offensive line, the defensive line, that they're beefing up a lot. And I'm really excited to see what the future is. But with 5-12, I'm just going to go disappointed. Not F. They didn't do terrible, but I can't give them higher than a D. The Cincinnati Bengals. Probably the career year for Joe Burrow, and they didn't do anything out of it. I cannot give them higher than a C. They're definitely better than the Falcons and the Bears. Probably even the Cardinals too. Definitely the Panthers. But I just can't give them higher. I'm so disappointed in what that defense has become. I'm happy for Higgins. I'm happy for Chase getting their deal. But what are y'all doing? The Browns. The Browns will be in an F until they get a new quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys. The biggest disappointment of the 2024-2025 season. They talked about all offseason last year. We're all in. We're going all in. You had Derrick Henry down the road in Texas asking and wanting to be a part of your team, and you still couldn't get that deal done? What are you doing? Denver Broncos, B. And here's why. Bo Nix, I was wrong. I thought he was going to be decent. I did. I thought with Sean Payton, him, that offensive line, running game, he had some weapons. What Russell Wilson was trying to be, I think Bo Nix really is. Athletic, great arm, can read a defense. He has a lot of experience coming out of college because he was in college so long. I know people keep harping on him about that and keep making fun of him for being in college so long. That's going to be his superpower. Detroit Lions. A. I wanted to give them S so bad, but so many injuries all year long. They probably had the best backfield when they had the 1-2 punch, but when they lost one of them, they lost Hutchinson. They lost so many guys in that defense. I really thought they would at least get to the NFC Championship, but they couldn't even do that. The Commanders got there. I can't give them higher than an A. They did choke in the playoffs, but they had a really good season, man. The Green Bay Packers. I'm going to go B. I can't give them any higher than that. I thought they would be much better than what they are. Their receiving core is still really young and lacking that number one guy. Josh Jacobs was a great addition. The offensive line played fine. Jordan Love was really good when he was healthy. That defense is still that defense. I think they'll be a lot better next year, but I would really like to see them get maybe one more, maybe a veteran receiver. Houston Texans. Kind of on the same boat as the Packers. I thought they had a good... I thought they had a good year, not a great year. I was a little upset with CJ Stroud. He didn't regress, but he didn't progress as much as I really wanted him to. Indianapolis, I don't know what's going on with their quarterback situation. They just got Daniel Jones. Anthony Richardson tapped out in multiple times last year. I've never seen a quarterback do that in my entire life. I think F is where they go. Jaguars, what is going on with Trevor Lawrence? The Kansas City Chiefs. I know they got to the Super Bowl. But I have never seen a team get so much help from everything else. I've never seen a team that should not be there in that last game of the season. And it showed because they did not deserve to be there. Philly whooped belt to. I'm giving them a B because they had a good year. They did a pretty good year. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl, but they should not have gotten there. Had the refs, they'd be an S tier, obviously, but I don't know how they got there. The Raiders, I'll get them out of F because of Brock Bowers. I need a good quarterback. I need a better running game. I need a better defense besides Max Crosby. I think that's all I got to give them. I told you guys Harbaugh was going to build a culture at the Chargers, and I didn't know how fast it was. He's getting his offensive linemen. He already has his quarterback. He needs to get more receivers, more weapons. I think they got, who did they get in free agency? Najee Harris in free agency already. But last season, I'll give them B because of what they're building. That year, I was super impressed with some of the ways they played games. Honestly, Rams deserve a spot in B2. I was so impressed with how they overcame injury, played together. McVay is still McVay. With Devontae Adams going to that team, they dropped Kupp. They have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. I am so excited to see what that team can be. Last year, they overcame so many odds. I can't not put them in B. Miami, after giving two of the contracts, they got Tyreek Hill, Waddle, those running backs, that defense. I just expected more. I expected more. C. A. The Vikings have got to be an A. Sam Darnold, everyone had no idea what that was going to be like. JJ McCarthy, their first round draft pick, their quarterback of the future, went down in the offseason. What's this team going to be? This team's going to be really damn good. Sam Darnold had such a career year, the best football I've ever seen him play in the NFL. He got a contract with Seattle for what, $100 million? That's a whole different video. I don't think anyone expected, including myself, expected Minnesota to go 15-2. They have to be an A, and that's a bare minimum. Patriots, I don't understand the Mayo move. I think Vrabel should have been the coach off the rip. Mayo should have learned from Vrabel. That would have been a little bit better, but I don't know what last season was. F. Biggest disappointment. Maybe the biggest disappointment from last year. They had such a good start. Maybe in the first 5 weeks of the NFL, the best team in the NFL, and then they did that. What are you doing? Kellen Moore, I'm so sorry that you took that job. I'm so scared for you. New York right here. The New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson. A better offensive line. First of all, they fired their coach. And that defensive-minded coach, who is a stud, by the way. As soon as he left, do you know that defense plummeted? Went from top 5 to 15 or 20? Plummeted. I'm not putting it all on Aaron Rodgers, but the fact that you GM'd your way to get Devontae Adams in that team and then you won 2 games with him, I can't give you more than a D. Forget everything I've said. That's the biggest disappointment of last season. The New York Jets. On the opposite side, go Eagles. The biggest W. The best Eagles team I've ever seen in my entire life. All the Jalen Hurts haters, shut up. He's an elite quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He won the Super Bowl on his back. Best offensive line, best receiving core, best running back, best defensive line, best linebacking core, and maybe even the best secondary in the NFL last season. The best team I've ever seen in my life. Hold on. The best team in the NFL. The Super Bowl champions. Go Birds, baby. Pittsburgh, I'm going C, and here's why. If they kept Justin Fields as a starter, I think they would have won a crap ton more games. I think he won 4 out of the... He didn't play that many games. I think he won a majority of the games he played. And with Russell Wilson, I didn't get it. I think they'll be a lot better if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Steelers because they added DK Metcalf this year. I think they'll be better, but I had no idea what they were doing last year. I don't think they did either. The 6-11 San Fran 49ers. That feels right. Going into the year with one of the best rosters from top to bottom, very comparable to the Eagles roster, and they pull out 6 wins that year. I know they had injuries. I know Christian McCaffrey went down at the very beginning of the season, destroying people's fantasy teams, and somehow, some way, not playing for the majority of the year, at all. Probably one of the weirder seasons of any sports teams I've ever seen, but that's fine. 10-7 for the Seahawks. I got to give them B. I'm still impressed what they pulled out of what they had out of that team. I'm really excited to see what Geno does for the Raiders with Carroll. I don't know how Seattle's going to look next year even with Cooper Kupp and Sam Darnold. I'm not very excited to see that, but I'm interested. I think B last year is fair. The best 10-7 team I've ever seen. The best 10-7 team I have ever seen. If they stayed healthy, if Godwin stayed healthy, if Evans stayed healthy, that was the career year, the best football I have ever seen Baker Mayfield play. I've always been a Baker Mayfield guy, and he proved this year that exact reason. If they're healthy next year, look out for the Buccaneers because they're going to be dangerous. You got work to do, Titans. I don't say this lightly. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't like the Commies. I don't like the Washington Commanders S tier. Nobody wanted that job last year that Dan Quinn took. Everyone was talking about Caleb Williams. No one was talking about Jaden Daniels. No one appreciates Terry McLaurin. No one appreciates their line, their defensive line, their defense in general, the running backs. No one gave this team, including myself, no one gave this team a thought, much like the Bills. And they got to the NFC Championship. I'm not saying they had a chance in that championship, but this team, they reminded me of the Bills this year. They reminded me of the Texans last year. But they got it feels like a brand new team. They have a brand new culture, brand new head coach. Look out for the Washington Commanders in this year, next year, and the year after that. I am terrified of Jaden Daniels in the NFC East. Maybe the best season, quick turnaround I've ever seen in a NFL franchise. I'm scared. As always, thank you for liking the video, subscribing, and comment how I did. If you disagreed about any of my grades, please let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.